What I think Khan does, or where the opportunity that it presents, is for this to be global and a global discussion, as opposed to it being a lot of US-centric, which traditionally a lot of these programmatic discussions are. As we look at data, and I don't want to continue to use the word programmatic because I think just advertising. As advertising kind of moves into a data-centric model and away from kind of this generic kind of scale demo model, the opportunity to make that a global scenario is really the opportunity that Khan presents. I think it's very, very interesting, and it allows us the opportunity to meet with a lot of our global partners and think about how we use data gathered across the world in a way that makes us strategically better at doing what we do, which is ultimately, providing media opportunities for our clients to reach their consumers. So the best way that we can reach our consumers is by leveraging data assets from our various partners or data that we gather ourselves.
So tell us a little bit about the integration of VivaKi and sort of the programmatic or automated operations, or the abilities that you guys have to buy audiences, both through your platform and then also through other systems.
Sure. So, I mean, to really cull down in a very simple scenario, the traders that lived at AOD VivaKi have moved into the individual brands. So across all of our brands at ZenithOptimedia, we've taken in a number of people who are now the traders within our organization. We call that the Audience Solutions Group. The function of the Audience Solutions Group is twofold. First is to obviously have traders in our environment, but secondly is to have those traders working much closer with our both traditional digital, if that's a funny way to put it, but with our teams all together, right, so that we can use insights and things that we learn in a data-driven environment and be able to scale that information at a larger scale across all media investment. As media has moved away from traditional channels, in terms of just, again, demo-centric, and really kind of, if you look at all the TV networks coming in with data strategies and things of that nature, the way for us to be able to take those insights and to take that learning, to be able to scale it, is to take those people in-house, take the learning, the execution in-house, both on the tech side, on the analytics side, and functionally from the insights side, and to be able to scale that across our entire organization. So we are thinking realistically, not simply just data-centric, but we are thinking data-centric as it involves your entire media investment. That means taking insights that you learn in one channel and applying them effectively in another. So that's really what the opportunity has presented itself in, and we think it's a really, really great direction, not only for us, but for the industry to move in this direction, because ultimately we are going to be in a one-to-one scenario, and we'll be able to talk to consumers and allow for messaging that speaks to some personalization, and really to have a two-way conversation with the consumer, as opposed to it being an advertiser talking to the consumer. I think our role is changing because ultimately we're not simply looked at as somebody who buys on behalf of the client. We're looked at as strategic partners. We're looked at as people that can help them figure out which technologies they should be using, how they should be setting up their data infrastructure, what are the tools that enable this, how do we activate them in the market, how do we provide insights, and then how do we make sure that that gets surfaced to the client in a way that they can leverage it in a lot of different ways. What you're seeing now is an influx of clients who really understand, hey, I have data myself, how do I leverage that in the market, and how do I marry that with other data sources, be it third party, second party, or however you want to do it? How do I marry all those things together to have a better conversation with the consumer? And I said it before, I think it's really, really important, the distinction of advertisers talking at consumers versus talking with and to consumers, and to ensure that the more information you know about them in a privacy-safe environment, the more information you know about them, the better you can communicate and give them messaging that is relevant for them, whether that's at the time of day, whether that's in a specific environment or channel, or ultimately whether that allows them the opportunity to sell at the end of the day, right? We all want to sell something, to sell them something that's really, really relevant in a time and space that the consumer really finds valuable. So data allows us to do that, but the opportunity to scale that across multiple media types is something that's still evolving today.